But Mercato basically is that, okay, this was our business model before, and we had to just, it was incubation. It's still incubation, but you have to change the business model altogether. Did we fail? You might think it's a failure to change the business model, but it's not. It's an iteration. It's an innovation.
Next year, 2021, hopefully everything will be okay na in the whole world. And by that time, we will totally forget there was a pandemic. Kaya all of us who are having crisis, difficulties, remember lang, nothing lasts forever, not even crisis.
You go back to the province, you have a little money, put up your own karinderya, and just be better every day. Darating din ang panahon, it will be a fantastic business. Nainggit kasi tayo parati sa malalaking negosyo eh. Ako, stop looking at them. Just look at yourself and then try to grow yourself every day.
During good times, we should maximize every possible resource we have, whether intellectual resource, our extra time, or real estate that we have that we don't bother to lease out or to take care.
Sometimes you've got to run your business even during the pandemic, even how hard it can be, even if you fail, because you've got to make those failures right now during this period. Because when things start to improve and you need to get back on your feet, you need to be conditioned to get back on your feet. If you aren't conditioned because you failed to learn anything during this crisis, then you'll never be able to pick up. So for me, I mean, that there was no real failure that occurred. In fact, we found weak spots in our old business model. We said, okay, it doesn't make sense this way. In fact, it makes better sense now that we go, okay, this actually gave us more breathing room to say, okay, if we were doing this in the old normal, we couldn't stop and reset di ba? But now this is the chance to stop, reset. Okay, itong old practice, pwedeng tanggalin to. Let's leave behind what the best one is and then move forward from there. I think the bigger thing we need to learn, the best thing to learn from this crisis is that what can we create in terms of a business opportunity that will be sustainable and long-term after the crisis is done.
There can be no success without failure. Because failure tells you kung ano ang pwede, ano ang hindi. So failure is not necessarily bad. Di ba? It just tells you, yung idea mo, hindi maganda yan. Eh kaso lang, the reason why people fail is nag-fail ka na nga, pinilit mo pa rin. You want the environment to change, insist on your style, and nag-fail ka na nga. To me, failure is a good thing. It tells you, wag dyan. So in fact, sa akin, itong crisis na to, sabi mo marami nagsara. I always believe storms will test your foundation. Pag may dumating na crisis, it will show kung sino magaling, sino ang hindi.
We've been so conditioned kasi that if you fail, you're done, you're not good. And it's time that for 2021, we stop thinking about what other people would think about us. And the reason why takot tayo mag-fail is because we're scared of the judgment of other people. Sometimes you don't have to care about what other people think. You just have to do what you're doing to make the businesses thrive, to make the businesses survive, and to make the businesses move forward. So, thank you so much,
Marvin, just to add, no? If you go join the startup community, like I'm part of the startup community because of everything that I do, for them, failure, parang, parang it's such a common, it's not something that's looked down upon, Parang, okay, they just, they say, what did you do? Oh, I had to iterate my model. I had to pivot my business model. Yan lang diba? Kasi
totoo.
it's just how they approach it. It's not dismissive of failure, but it's just saying, oh, what I did first didn't work, so it's just time to move on and change it. Kasi just saying, like I just said, I sorry to go back, but Mercato basically is that, okay, this was our business model before, and we had to just, it was incubation. It's still incubation, but you have to change the business model altogether. Did we fail? You might think it's a failure to change the business model, but it's not. It's an iteration. It's an innovation. And many failures come from failure, desperation, innovation. Bumago ka. That's really how it's like.
I agree, Marvin, sa sabi nila. Actually, tama sinabi nila, maganda. Failure is actually the best teacher in life. Many times, if we don't encounter failure, we might think we are Superman na infallible. We do all kinds of crazy, foolish things. So, failure is a time for us to study, analyze, and be humble and learn lessons we will never learn from success. That's one thing I learned. Crisis and failures give us priceless lessons we will never encounter during success. Maganda nga kung bata tayo, then we encounter failures early para we will not repeat them when we're old already. Kaya
Can I just add, Marv?
Yeah.
Ilang, go.
Yan ako kasi ng mga bata ngayon, feeling mo, you go to school, you take up business, you take up entrepreneurship in school, and you feel you're ready. However, in school, you only learn theories. And most of the time, you learn theories from people who do not even have businesses.
Yes,
so
that's true. That's true.
So they give you all this idea na this will work, which will not, di ba? So you just have to, I'm not saying school is bad. I'm just saying when you go after school, you go, you try, you fail, pero don't feel bad. Because it just tells you ano ang tamang theory, ano ang hindi. Okay? So life really is the best teacher and failure is just part of it. It's just a feedback mechanism to tell you ano ang pwede, ano ang hindi. So all of these are good. And tama si Wilson, you will never learn from success. Okay, kaya tayo, we always study the success of these great men. Si Steve Jobs, never learned from their success, learned from their failure. Okay, kasi yung success nila, mahirap i-replicate yun pag hindi mo naintindihan yung failure nila. And I'm sure RJ knows that.
By the way, I don't
look at Jack Ma. The IPO fizzled out, and it was something that was something he couldn't have predicted himself. It's something he couldn't have predicted would come out. But I mean, that's a spectacular failure for him. But I'm sure he's just going to say, "Okay, they didn't allow me, so let me see what I can do now." That's the pivot that's going to happen from there, diba?
One of the largest IPOs. by the way, I don't know if you know this, RJ and Wilson. No, si Dodong, sobrang galing niya. He's actually doing what he's saying also. Daughter niya, hindi na nag-college, diretso business niya. Anak ko, kwandoan na lang kita, business ka na, at dito ka na matuto, practical learning experience. Very, very interesting lang. And
I agree dun Kasi parang sinabi ko sa ibang tao yan na thinking ko the best way to learn business is, I'm not saying the school is not good pero learning business parang it's like riding a bicycle or swimming. You don't learn just by textbook and in a classroom. A teacher will tell you, ito ang bicycle, ito gagawin mo pag The best way to learn a bicycle, take one and ride it. And swimming, the best way to push mo yan sa swimming pool and let them learn to kasi all the theories are not comparable to the actual experience.
That's right.
Tama, I agree. I wonder nga how they become businessmen purely by fancy schools lang.
Got it. Okay, let's put this to a close. By the way, the reason why you're the first batch na nandito, kayo yung fan favorites eh. Lagi tinatanong, kailan babalik si Sir RJ, Sir Dodong, Sir Wilson? Fan favorites na YouTube channel na to. Final words to everyone as we enter 2021. Then, anything that you would like to convey to people, where can they reach you? Anything coming up for Mercato or for Kamuning Bakery or for your farms as well? Probably RJ, Wilson, Dodong again. Then, let's wrap everything up.
Age before beauty or beauty before age ba?
Based yan sa celebrity-ness. So,
well, yung orange noon bata pa. The earliest to be
Thanks. Anyway, before everything else, I just want to say it's an honor to be beside both Dodong and Wilson for this interview. I've always wanted to hear about Dodong. I've heard so much about him. I'm glad to be here. And Wilson's always been a colleague. We were actually both editors-in-chief under Mega Publishing many moons ago. So we sort of belong to the same industry and also in real estate. But the past 9 to 10 months, what it's taught me really about is a lot of, this is what I wish to continue, a lot of spiritual and emotional fortitude, empathy, physical conditioning. I have never worked out this much in my life since this crisis started. And I think it was good because I think the improvement of my physical condition also helped me mentally as well, to think harder, to think better. And I'm not so young anymore, but it's been good. I got my blood tests recently back, and it's great. My cholesterol is in a great level. Everything's good, and that was one of the silver linings over this time. I think it's also built my relationship with my wife and my family. Me and my wife were able to attend marriage booster seminars at least once a month, which made us a bit closer. And I think I was able to develop my prayer habit became so much stronger during this time. I personally developed my habit of praying the daily rosary, and I could see the benefit to me and how it changed a lot of different things. I didn't realize how much of the what they were saying about what the rosary can bless you with. I didn't realize how it was coming to me every day on a very slow basis. So I was very happy with that one. So that's one of the things I want to tell people, that moving forward, this crisis is going to get longer. But as it digs in, let's remember to be, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically fortified as we move into this crisis. And just want to remind people, don't always say crisis is going to come and go. Good times, bad times, just like Job, diba? So sometimes you get through a really bad situation, but all of a sudden God gives you something really good. But you know what? You never know. Things are good, things are bad. God is good all the time, and that's all that you can really pray for. And what you can just pray for at this time is that His will is your will, because that's basically it. You never realize sometimes your success can be the worst thing for you, and sometimes your failure can be the best thing for you. So all you can just pray for is that you're able to discern God's will for you in His life, because God is good all the time.
My biggest success this 9 months is kayakap ko wife ko the whole time, easy access.
He's in front of you right now, no?
Wala. Ano yan, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Hindi ka maka-escape, Marvin.
Okay, Wilson.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to listen to RJ and Dodong and you, Marvin. Thinking ko lang is the crisis should be a time for us to strengthen ourselves and improve ourselves. Never give up. Don't be pessimistic. Kasi naniniwala ako, by end of next year, 2021, hopefully everything will be okay na in the whole world. And by that time, we will totally forget there was a pandemic. Kaya all of us who are having crisis, difficulties, remember lang, nothing lasts forever, not even crisis. Walang forever talaga. Even our life, even our wealth, even our crisis. So whatever emotional, financial crisis you have, after 1 more year or half a year, magugulat ka, there's no more such crisis. So what matters most is we should strengthen ourselves. We should become better persons and more efficient this year. New Year's resolution talaga, we should become better, stronger, hopeful, always positive thinking. Lahat ng crisis, may positive. Alam mo ba yung bakery 2 years ago nasunog? Horrible talaga. So that time may lumabas na pelikula sa Hollywood, The Greatest Showman, di ba? Nakita ko yon. Nasunog. So nasunog. Anong nangyari? Ang ginawa ni Hugh Jackman, yun sa business niya, wala siyang cash, wala siyang time, marami siyang employees. So gumawa siya ng tent muna for the circus. So it worked. So naging puro tent na lang ang circus niya. So I thought to my accountant, sabi ko, uy, ang mahal-mahal, million to build even a roof and a wall and whatever for the bakery. Why don't we put up a special tent sa bakery? Andiyan pa naman ang wall, andiyan pa naman ang oven. Sabi niya, sir, walang bakery sa buong Pilipinas under a tent. Edi, try natin. Tapos, we did a special tent in 2 weeks. Buong 1/2 of it, tapos 2 more weeks, 1/2. Now that there's a pandemic, we're the only bakery na high ceiling, open air na maganda. Sabi ng isang senador pumunta, sabi niya, ang ganda ng design mo ngayon compared noon na. Hindi nasunog yung buong side compared na wala, kaya it's a special tent. So everything may positive, lahat ang negative. All crisis, all problems, may opportunity. If we search for it, if we are resourceful, never give up and be very hopeful. Be ready for the next boom time. It will come, and you will all be surprised. I think I will. But we should be ready. We should be strong. We should never give up. Learn from people like Marvin, Dodong, and RJ.
Before I go to Dodong, will we ever see a crossover Kamuning Bakery in Mercato?
Uy, maganda yan. I'll contact you.
I offered Wilson to join in the Mercato BGC market, the reopening.
Oo, hindi pa ako nagano, sorry.
We were helping restaurants, and also we were also helping small food vendors to join. So
Wilson's interested ako, I'll contact you.
And
you
also
have the same numbers?
Yes, I do. And of course, if you want your vegetables there or help small bukid doon food entrepreneurs, we're glad to help also as well, Dodong.
Feeling ko pupunta yung mga tao sa Mercato para lang makita si RJ tsaka si Wilson eh. So that will be very interesting. Okay, Dodong, go.
I'll text you, ha? At saka, I forgot to tell you pala, I keep thinking, this crisis is the best time to expand. Mura rentals. Ang daming. You'd be shocked, ha? When I went to Paranaque, BFOM's area, to look for a place for a branch during the height of the pandemic, na-shock ako. Every other house, every other restaurant is for rent. Tapos, tumitingin lang ako ng isang restaurant, di pa ako tumatawad, di pa ako interesado. Sabi niya, sir, pag kukunin niyo to, kahit 70% na lang ng renta sa'yo na, talagang you'd be shocked. So, there is opportunity if we survive, if we are strong enough, if we are resilient. I'm not saying I'm happy, but there are many opportunities. Some people pa don't need to rent too many branches. If you imagine, kasi may mga rider, so many opportunities during weird crisis times.
Before anything else, Mark, thank you for inviting me. This is my first time sharing a platform with si RJ. So it's an honor to share this time with you tsaka si Wilson. Wilson, nagsama tayo minsan sa icon ni Randall, no? And that's what
yes,
that's nice for
BGC.
Oh, di ba?
Thank you.
So I went to your store sa Kamuning. I went to your store, remember?
Yung anak mo ba yung magaling na art?
Yeah, yung sa egg, di ba? Yung shipping sa acoustic egg.
Naalala ko yun.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, but anyway,
Bata
ako naman.
Bumata mo ka mo.
Bata.
Something with the hair or
Kanina nga,
something.
sabi ni RJ, we're not any younger. I felt bad because I know I'm older than RJ.
You look younger now.
Anyway, ako naman, Marv, if I can share one thing with people, before the lockdown, I actually feel very uncomfortable about the economy. My discomfort is only the big boys have the opportunities. Jollibee, McDonald's, SM. Pagdating ng SM sa isang probinsya, namamatay lahat ng negosyo eh. Okay? Nagsasara yung mga maliliit na tindahan. Alam mo ako, I like watching food blogs, blogs sa YouTube. And it's very interesting when you go to Malaysia, you go to Thailand, marami silang maliliit na tindahan. 'Di ba? Specialty food, street food. Today when people move around the country, where do you eat? Jollibee, McDonald's, these big guys. And feeling ko, the crisis leveled the playing field. If only people would look at it in that way, kasi people do not want to go to Jollibee anymore. Ang mga turista, they would go to Jollibee, McDonald's because it's safe. When they came in, nawala yung maliliit na mga tindahan. And I'm happy na si RJ andyan yung Mercato, di ba? Because these are the small guys, giving them opportunities to, share their food. And nawala na yan sa probinsya. This crisis, one forced people to go back to the province. Nung nagsara yung mga Jollibee, they were forced to go back to the karinderya. And I wish people would start to think that there's really opportunity because when the crisis is over and people start to go around the tourism, I wish they would go to this small karinderya with specialty food. And that's basically an opportunity.
Kami small karinderya.
Yeah, di ba? In the past, people would leave the province and go to Manila because that's where the opportunities are. And I don't like what's happening because you get so crowded. And the reason why grabe kayo sa COVID, because everybody's there. Cannot do social distancing. And so one of the good things that happened during this crisis, people were forced to go back to the province. And sana lang, if only people would understand that there's opportunity. Marv, I'm in the mountain of Kitanglad. Okay? I'm in a remote area. I only believe that there's market in our community. What's my market today? I don't even sell to Cebu and Manila. I only sell to Bukidnon and Cagayan. Because there's opportunity everywhere. Ako, ang market ko parate, kapitbahay ko. Because these people will still eat. Diba? When I was asked, why don't you export your produce sa ibang countries? Sabi ko, why do I export when I need to feed my neighbors? And so sana maintindihan niya ng tao. Now, we should stop being dependent on big businesses because we can create small businesses, and that would make us an entrepreneurial country. karamihan ng lumalaki yung malaki na. And I really don't like that, okay? There's more opportunities today for the smaller guys. But how do we approach this? I don't know how to do business. Ako, alam mo ba, Marv, wala akong TV today. I only have the internet. Wala akong TV. Because I've stopped listening to the news. I've stopped listening to the environment, this crisis. So this is my approach, and maybe some people will makatulong. I only focus on myself, trying to improve every day, trying to ask myself, what can I do with what I have? Because if I always watch TV, nainggit ako kay Marvin, ngayon nainggit na rin ako kay RJ, pati kung hindi ko lang sila nakausap, hindi na ako may inggit, kung hindi ako nakinig sa kanila. Diba? Because I only base myself on myself. I want only to improve every day. So, feeling ko, kung yun lang ang goal mo, you go back to the province, you have a little money, put up your own karinderya, and just be better every day. Darating din ang panahon, it will be a fantastic business. Nainggit kasi tayo parati sa malalaking negosyo eh. Ako, stop looking at them. Just look at yourself and then try to grow yourself every day. Baka by doing that, we can create more entrepreneurs and make the country really better. Because we're really not an entrepreneurial country. We're so based on a few company. Yung paborito ni Marvin na Jollibee. Okay, paborito rin ni Marvin ang video. Di ba? These guys are the only one becoming rich. And I'm happy si RJ is continually expanding yung merkato niya. Because that's really how to become an entrepreneurial country. Small guys having opportunities.
Got it. Thank you so much to all of your insights. No? And totoo, no, I really believe that we need more entrepreneurs. It's risky, it's harder, but the rewards also, not just financial, are amazing. And to everyone watching this, I hope this gave you insights and somehow information to help you make the right decision. Because at the end of the day, there's no perfect business. In the same way that there's no perfect investment, but you have to find what will work for you. To put this to a close, RJ Ledesma has a podcast. You can check him in Spotify. Dodong Cacanando has a YouTube channel. Also, at Dodong Cacanando. Wilson, nakita ko meron ka na rin YouTube channel. Nag-start
pero I will have to update it.
Meron ako ng pili.
Sa'yo, gagawa tayo ng konting YouTube. Na puro tinapay, cakes, and ideas combined.
Okay, so guys, isa lang request ko to everyone watching this. Please subscribe to their channels. Kahit di na kayo mag-subscribe sa akin, sa kanila na lang. Okay na.
Masyado nang marami nakasubscribe sa'yo.
And let's support all of them. So I guess that's it. Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. And I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.
We don't have exposure to POGOs, whether they're the POGOs who are doing the actual gaming operations or what they call back office gaming operations. We have none of that in AREIT, so it's not risky in that way. No, we have long-term contracts in place, so our average lease expiration as of today is a little over than 5 years, and we hardly have any lease expirations in the next 2 years. We believe it is good that AREIT will have a portfolio of diversified locations for risk management, not concentrated in just one location. Why do I say this? If we are concentrated in just one city or location and suddenly there's a high vacancy in that area, then it's risky, right? Versus having several buildings in several locations. It's more balanced that way.